Sailing the seas of nostalgia, I'm the Captain of the Past here. Ahoy everyone, welcome to Captain Past Reviews. I am Captain Past, the Captain of the Past. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to toss my own hat into the line of reviewing, like those of Huey Toonmore, Animat, and even the Nostalgia Critic. And if I'm popular enough, I might get ahead into making my own review series. And if I'm popular enough, I might get ahead into making more reviews here. I'm going to make 3 episodes of Wait. It's too small. Okay, let's try again. I'm going to make 3 episodes for the pilot series so I can get ahead and learn what to do. So starting with episode 1, let's review Shining Time Station.
Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the words, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you.
You're probably wondering what I did there. Well, I have this special thing in mind for my reviews. When I talk about TV shows, I will play the theme song, and when it's done, I talk about the show. It's new, yes, but it's my own style. Now, on to the show. The first thing we need to talk about is the backstory, which is the show's main feature, Thomas the Tank Engine. Beginning in 1945, the Railway series was created by Wilbert Awdry, and was a very popular series of books, starting with the 3 railway engines in 1945 to tramway engines in 1972. Now, of course, after this, in 1983, Wilbert's son Christopher would make more books, but little did they know that the books caught the eye of Britt Allcroft. Now, this is an incredible woman because she is the one who brought our favorite little tank engine from the books to the TV series. Now, I don't know anyone else who would have done that. Maybe a lot. Of course, this has all been done in the past, be it the early films, Disney movies, films done by other animators, and it's still going on even to this day. If only they were good books. But back on to Allcroft. It was in 1979 while she was making a documentary on British steam trains. Allcroft met the Reverend Wilbert Awdry, author of the Railway series of children's books. She said, and I quote, "It really didn't take me long to become intrigued by the characters, the relationships between them, and the nostalgia they invoked." She told him that she wanted to bring these stories to life, and made an arrangement to secure rights through the then publishers Kay and Ward. So about a year later, in 1980, with her husband Angus Wright, they founded Britt Allcroft Railway Productions, which would later become just Britt Allcroft Productions, then Ghislaine Entertainment. The show then took around 4 years to make, with stuff like the funding. But along with director David Mitton, the first season of Thomas and Friends was born. The show became a major hit in the United Kingdom, and in 1986 it was renewed for a second season, and gained more popularity after its release. Then enter Rick Sigelkow, who got a tape of the show from then head of PBS Channel 13 of New York, Jay Iceland, and showed it to some American kids, and they enjoyed it. So with the help of Britt, they were able to bring Thomas to the United States. How is this possible, you might ask? Make a half-hour show with it! Only instead of making something new out of the old show, I mean, don't get me wrong, the show's great as it is, no. Instead, they decided to make a whole new, different show using Thomas as a segment, and thus, Shining Time Station was born. On January of 1989, all over America, Shining Time Station came on PBS stations everywhere, and was loved by everyone, not just for Thomas, but many others as well. There is a good cast of characters, like Dee Dee Conn as Stacey Jones, who also played as Frenchie in Grease, Leonard Jackson as Harry, Canadian musician Tom Jackson as Billy Two Feathers, Matt, played by Jason Woliner, Tanya, played by Nicole Rochelle, but credited as Nicole Leash, Dan, played by Ari Magder, Kara, played by Erica Lutteral, who would later be Keisha in The Magic School Bus and Princess Candy in Disney's Dave the Barbarian, Becky, played by Danielle Marcotte, and my favorite character in this show, comedian Brian O'Connor as Schemer.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it. It just needs a Schemer touch.
Holy bad noise! What was that?
Schemer, watch out!
That's a monster nickel! What fun! Did you see him run?
Wait a minute. Friends of the Flowering Cactus Ladies Auxiliary? My mommy is in that group. I'm it!
I mean it too. This guy was hilarious. He's pretty much the comic relief in the show, and some of his checkered suits were his father's. This guy is hilarious.
Genius time.
Now, of course, Schemer's not the only one in this show I enjoy from the main cast. I also love the Mr. Conductor characters.
Here, you missed the spot. It's the window over here. You did the others, so don't miss this one. That's a good lad. Can't do a job halfway. What's worth doing is worth doing well, I say. And that goes double when you're doing my windows, because they're double paned. A pain in the neck and a pain to clean.
Along with Thomas, Mr. Conductor is one of the highlights of Shining Time Station. In the first season, he was played by Beatles drummer Ringo Starr, who also narrated the first 2 seasons of Thomas and Friends in the United Kingdom. In the second season, Ringo was replaced by comedian George Carlin, making him the first official American Thomas narrator.
You like stories, trains, and magic? Well, you've come to the right place. Let me properly introduce myself. Mr. Conductor, at your service.
So you see, to keep Thomas on the show, they decided to create Mr. Conductor, who goes to and from Shining Time Station to the island of Sodor, Thomas's home, by the way. That's a very interesting concept for a character, if you ask me. But of course, what can be a cool kids show without funny puppet characters? Introducing the Jukebox Band, which were made by the FlexiTune crew, exclusively for the show. FlexiTune may not be as well known as Jim Henson's Muppets, but they're still awesome. First, we have Tito Swing, played by Jonathan Freeman, who would later be the voice for Jafar in Disney's Aladdin. Can you really compare these two?
That bull is too big for his britches. Let's show him and play something we want to play.
My life is but to serve you, my lord.
Next, we have Dee Dee, played by Olga Marin, Tex, played by Wayne White in Season 1, then Alan Semok in Seasons 2 and 3, Rex, played by Craig Marin, and Grace, played by Peter Baird, Ken Neal, and Vanessa Williams. This is another highlight of the show. Not just the puppets, but they also play a few awesome songs, like their own renditions. Take a listen to this one.
For the home team, if they don't win, it's a shame.
awesome, but aside from songs from the jukebox, they also played some songs from other places produced by Mr. Conductor, either in the Anything Tunnel or as Magic Bubbles. Sometimes they play the songs with clips from old cartoons, either from Max Fleischer or some of the Looney Tunes cartoons. And other times they play some live action scenes in the songs. They can be pretty cool and sweet to listen to. The show became popular after the first season, and when season 2 was being made, The Thomas Show, while still being popular in the UK, made a third season to put more stories in for the last 2 seasons of the show. But all good things must come to an end. In 1993, during the show's third season, the show was cancelled with 70 episodes, leaving a big impact. The show later returned in 1995 in the form of hour-long specials featuring Thomas stories from the 4th season, and when the specials were done, in 1996, Mr. Conductor and Thomas were given their own show called Mr. Conductor's Thomas Tales, and sadly, later on, all the Shining Time Station reruns were taken off PBS in 1997. However, it didn't end there. In 1998, Fox Family Channel was born, and so did Shining Time Station's airtime on that channel. It aired for quite a while on the Captain Kangaroo's Treasure House block, but it only aired seasons 2 and 3 for unknown reasons, and in 1999, the show left that channel as well. Moving right along to the new millennium in 2000 to promote Thomas and the Magic Railroad, Shining Time Station aired once more on Nick Jr., which is the preschool half of Nickelodeon. In August 11th, 2000, it was reported as the final Shining Time Station airing on Nickelodeon, and thus the show faded away while Thomas kept getting more and more popular as the years went. But that doesn't mean the show made its end there. On the internet, like most things, it became a cult classic, in gaining more and more followers, even those from the UK who never saw Our American Thomas. This show has made such an impact, and I'd love to see it on DVD one day, even in a complete series. But only time will tell. Well, I've done this first episode with all I've got. I'll see you next time in the next review, and until next time, bye for now.
Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the words, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you. So much to see, so far to travel, so much to learn to know. Friends by your side, hopes to hold on to, who knows how far you'll go. To a shining time station,